After a very rough weather weekend, we are rolling into Monday, and of course, a lot of people are still cleaning up after those severe storms that moved through. Thanks for sticking with us here on Weather Channel Live. Molly McCullum and Felicia Combs are going to break down what we're watching and how those cleanup and recovery efforts are going.
A number of tornadoes, and unfortunately, some of them causing deaths across the channel.
You know, Molly, we were both working leading up to these storms and during these storms, and you never want a forecast like that to verify. You can just hope that people were prepared and ready, and once these storms got going, it was just kind of nonstop.
I was on the air with Dr. Postel when the tornado emergency was actually issued for Tylertown, and it was just one of those things where you look at the radar signature and you just know it's bad. And this continued to move to the east. So yesterday we had a number of warnings, not only on the Gulf Coast and areas over towards the Atlantic seaboard, but all the way up into areas like Pittsburgh. And we're still watching what's left of the system today, mostly just bringing rain. Thank goodness it's just rain.
I mean, it was just so many warnings after warnings. It's almost kind of like at one point it was like, wait, which warning are we talking about? And when you're talking about 304 tornado warnings, 641 severe thunderstorm warnings covering such a large region, it's just so much.
And I mean, tornadoes tend to get a lot of attention.
Right.
But even, you know, if you have straight line wind damage, or even say if you got hail damage on your car or your roof, that's still something that you have to deal with.
Right. It's all about, you know, I say every storm is objective because your neighbor might be like, oh, this storm wasn't bad for me at all. But if the tree blew down on your home or on your car or something, then that is a storm that changed your life and you're going to remember it. You can see our top wind reports. When you're talking about 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This was part of the reason we were seeing, you know, the dust spread in some places and the fire issues that we were seeing. These are just the type of winds that on their own are going to do damage.
And this was portions of the Midwest and upper Midwest, but this went all the way down through the Mid-South, the Deep South, and then extending over into parts of even the Northeast.
Yeah.
These are some of the hail reports, and this is not small hail that we're dealing with, not at all.
This is the type of hail that's going to break your window, you know, leave dents in your car. Highlandville, Missouri, they're leading the way, 2.75. That is just, you know, that's deadly hail if it happened to hit you and you were outside.
Right. So we were contending with a lot of types of severe weather hazards. This was the radar recap as it went through the south and the southeast. And this is when we started to see the tornado emergencies for areas like Tylertown. The tornadoes continued into portions of Alabama. Tornado warnings overnight in the Atlanta metro area. And then waking up on Sunday morning, a number of not only severe thunderstorm warnings, but also tornado warnings throughout the morning.
I mean, look at all of these reports. The total reports here. Tornado everywhere you see those red dots, 79 tornado reports, over 700 damaging wind reports, and over 170 hail reports. That is so much damaging weather that just kind of kept going on. And of course, we still have some power outages out there because of these storms.
And that's going to take some time. So I know it's hard, but patience. Can you imagine? You go on, say, a work trip, Felicia, and you're expected to be there a week. And you don't come home for 9 months.
Well, I have stayed in some places longer than expected, but certainly not 9 months. That was a long trip.
I'm sure that their families are going to be very happy to see them today, and vice versa. They're going to be really happy to be back on Earth. Well, welcome into Weather Channel Live. I'm Molly McCullum alongside Felicia Combs.
All right, of course, we've had a lot to talk about recently, and I wish we had, you know, better topics to talk about, but sadly, Molly, the fire risk is still